What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Nick.
My name's Nathan.
And this is Full Throttle Cars. In today's video, we're going to be doing a full review of a brand new 2021 Dodge Durango RT. So we've got this Dodge Durango RT back here. It is a brand new 2021 in Reactor Blue Pearl, which is a really neat color. This has the tow package equipped, full leather interior with the cooled seats, as well as the cargo package on the roof, which adds those roof rails up there, so you can attach something up there if need be.
Alright guys, so before we do pop this hood up, you guys should just take a moment to admire the hood on this vehicle. So you actually have a functional intake right here that creates the bulge on this hood, and it just gives such a muscle car feeling. And then on either side, if you want to come up here, we do have the heat exchangers, and this vehicle is just running. You can feel the heat coming off of this hood right here. So now we can try to look at the engine itself. Let me just find how to pop this thing up. Alright, so now taking a look at this Hemi engine. This is a 5.7 liter V8 that does put out 360 horsepower. So you can take a look at all this here. It is covered in plastic, but I actually do think that that does give it a cool look. You got Hemi written on the sides and the big 5.7 liter V8 up there. Also Hemi written right there in the front. Brand new car, such a clean looking engine bay. Actually, it does look like a pretty big engine bay, so lots of room if you'd have to work on it or anything. Yeah, relative to a lot of other cars that if you look into the past that we have popped the hood on before, this is actually quite open, yeah, relative to other cars where things just seem to be crammed in here. This looks like it would be a lot nicer to work on and just to be able to see into the engine.
Alright guys, so a huge thing with the all-new 2021 is redesigned front end. So you can see the grille up here and the whole front bumper and hood are different than the previous 2020 models. You've got these intakes right here that are actually real. You can see that all this stuff is real. You can look in here. Of course the grille is real, but even the bottom lower pieces and the sides are all real vents. One thing that I think is really neat, especially in today's time when lots of automakers are putting fake grills and vents on their cars to give them a more aggressive and sporty look, this gives this Durango a really aggressive and muscle car look, but they are all functional. Also new are these headlights, which are pretty cool. You've got an LED strip on the bottom and top. I'll go turn those on for you here in a moment.
Alright guys, so you can see that now. Both the top and the bottom did just light up. Oh, they went off again. Alright, yeah, so you can see that top and bottom lit up, and then so did the main headlight right here. Now the fog lamps aren't on right now, but you do have those on either side, right with the curve of those intakes right there. Alright guys, so all around this vehicle, we'll just mention the front specifically, you do have these sensors, and you will see these on a lot of new vehicles, but these, they cause the car to really just ding at you if you're about to hit something, or if you have a car coming at you from one side or the other.
Alright guys, so this car is also equipped with blind spot monitoring as well as cross path detection. You can see here in the corner of the mirror, if there's a vehicle that's coming up on the side of you, it will light up orange to notify you that there is somebody there, so don't try to change lanes. Alright guys, so I just wanted to mention a couple other things about the all-new 2021 Durango RT specifically. The new Durango RT has an optional tow and go package, which bumps up the speedometer to, like, I believe 160 miles per hour, as well as gives it a performance exhaust, I believe an SRT exhaust on the normal RT. This is a $5,000 package though, so if you opt for that, you're almost getting into the price range of an SRT Durango already. So I don't know how worth it is for you, but that being said, you still would have to opt for the normal towing package if you really needed that towing package on the SRT, which probably puts you around the $70,000 area. A 2021 RT equipped with that tow and go package is going to be a little bit over $50,000, I believe. It would also give you front Brembo brakes, which adds to the performance and sportiness to it. This just has the normal brakes and normal wheels for the RT package. You can also get the black top package, which will black out the wheels, as well as the Hemi badges on the side. But I think overall, these wheels do suit this color also. This is a really cool color. I am a big fan of this color. It is Reactor Blue Pearl. You can also get it, another cool color is Destroyer Gray. That's another one of my favorite colors for the Dodge products. Alright, one more thing I want to mention on the outside before we move to the inside. With this RT package, you get this big spoiler up here atop on the back of the rear glass. Then also down here we are going to get some exhaust clips from the outside, because that is a huge reason on why you buy this car. It's for the performance and muscle sounds and looks of this car. This is such a cool SUV. For a 7-seat SUV, this is probably my favorite one. Alright guys, so moving to the inside of the car, if you come in here, we've got nice leather around door panels. I do like this red stitching. It does go along with that performance feel and the muscle feel. The red also in the Dodge logo, which is actually here in the back of the seats, embroidered in the back of each of the front seats. And then you have the Dodge logo on the steering wheel. And all new for this year is this really nice and thick, flat bottom, sporty style steering wheel. You've got these nice metal panels on the back that I think I mentioned previously. Then you've got nice black trim all around these vents. It's kind of an interesting thing here, that where you can move this right here to open and close your vent and move it to which way. There's a little trim piece around each of those, which is kind of neat, and I do think it does look pretty good. We also have leather wrapping here, as well as on the other side in front of the passenger. Really nice and comfortable seats. Nothing too extreme, but they are heated and cooled, which is nice. They are a nice balance between a performance sporty seat and a comfortable seat.
Alright guys, so hopping into the rear of the vehicle, you do, opening the door, immediately see more leather right here where I'm running my hand along, and then you do have another glossy black surface around the door handle, and then that is a glossy sort of a silver surface right there. And on these seats, more leather, more very comfortable feeling leather, just running all the way down and around the seats. And in terms of power and comfort for the passengers in the back of the vehicle, you do have two heated seats, one on the left, one on the right. Two USB ports, one for each side of the vehicle in the back here, and then a 120 AC outlet that does offer 150 watts, so you can indeed charge your laptop. So that is very nice. And then in the back, unfortunately there are no USB ports, but you do have two extra seats for this 7-seat vehicle. Alright guys, if you have enjoyed this review so far, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe. Push us all the way to 2,000 subscribers. Alright guys, so in here on the control screen in this Durango here, it is actually very nice looking. It's a high quality and it's a fairly large screen. So you've got your home that gives you your navigation and your media on the left and right. And then you can flip to your media. It's got Bluetooth, Sirius radio, FM radio. That's pretty standard in a lot of vehicles like this. And
also
then
has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto.
Yeah. And then you have your comfort settings. So this thing does have a heated steering wheel, heated and ventilated front seats. And if you do not like using the screen for that, you can see down here, those are all your controls for the heating and cooling seats and steering wheel right there. You can just click those. Then moving on to your navigation settings, this is just, you know, your standard navigation system that you'll find on any smart screen in a car like this. You can also connect your phone to the car, as we said earlier. You know, you have your Apple CarPlay, and then here coming up to my favorite screen that I've seen so far on this thing. This is the performance page right here. So you guys can see that there are all these timers that it's for this car specifically, that it times the best, really just the best time that you've driven in this thing so far.
We'll take another look at that once we come up here on a stop or something. We will show that in real time and see how it works.
Alright guys, so you have your gauges here. That's just to measure a couple things, such as your coolant, your oil pressure, your transmission oil, and your battery's voltage. Here are some graphs. They appear to be about 30 maybe second graphs that they are giving you your power, torque, and RPMs from that last 30 seconds. So the line right here where my finger is, those are the live lines. So you can see Nick just accelerated and the torque and power and the RPMs all just went up significantly, especially the torque right there. So you can see that now that we're just really coasting into town here, they've gone way down, and they're actually at 0 right now. It appears to be everything except for the
also, I noticed you can like take a snapshot at a certain point on the graph. If you see, like, if you're doing a run or something and there's a cool point on the graph, like where it went way up or something, max power or torque, you can click snapshot and see that.
Yeah. So now we have a G-force gauge. So G-force, you guys, just so you know, it's acceleration. 1G is the acceleration you feel from the gravity's Earth. Just a little bit of science right there, but it can be measured in a car because a car accelerates.
You also have that miles per hour up there I wanted to notice. And if you see the little orange dot right in the middle of the G-force meter, that is really cool because it shows you where it's going right at that moment. Like if you saw when I accelerated out of the stop sign, that G-force meter went all the way down towards that half G.
Yeah. And it also gives you the pitch and roll of the car. So those are actually important aspects in G-force if you guys look into that science in the future. Then one more button on this performance page is the vehicle dynamics, and that's really just showing you your steering angle right here, and then it's just giving a gauge of the 4 tires of the car and the transmission. Okay guys, so Nick is going to launch this thing into sport mode, and we're gonna take a look at what all these timers do as he does that.
Put it into sport down here, and if you look up here on the screen, there's a little graphic that says sport mode on with a little Durango with some racing flags, and then we'll bump this over into manual. So I should be in first gear right up there, and there's a little green flag that says sport. So we'll see what happens with those when we pull out here. Now it was a turn, unfortunately. Oh, do you hear that engine?
Yeah.
Exhaust on those shifts. That is really cool. That is really cool.
I actually didn't see any of those timers.
Yeah, I think it's because we started on that turn there. But yeah, that was really awesome sounding exhaust though. We'll probably put the GoPro on the outside here eventually. I'm gonna bump this back into drive now, and I'll have to think if we can find a stopping point where we can actually try out those timers on a straight stretch without having to turn off of the stop sign. But yeah, we'll see about that. Alright guys, I'm just going to show you the startup sequence because the Dodge will come up on there, I think. Yep. Then Durango right there in the middle of the screen. Just wanted to show you the startup sequence there. Alright guys, so I'm going to go over some of my driving impressions. This is actually the first time I have driven this car. So right now we're just cruising along, but when you put it in sport mode, as we showed you earlier, you can really hear that exhaust and when you're shifting manually. And there's like some little verbals or something at the end as well when you're shifting gears. We'll show you more of that here in a minute, and we'll show you some more of the screen, the performance pages, and hopefully be able to actually get some times down on those performance pages. We found another page down below it that we forgot to show you that has like braking distance and braking distance from 30 miles per hour, or 35 miles per hour rather, as well as 0 to 100 and 0 to 60 runs. So we are going to hopefully be able to do a couple of those, at least maybe get that 8th mile time and the 0 to 60. But just some driving impressions while you're driving along. It's actually pretty quiet in the cabin. This is a nice, sporty, firm feeling steering wheel. It's cool flat bottom, very performance-like. The paddles feel nice. They're metal paddles on the back here. They're not really big, but they do feel nice, and they are in a good spot to where you would use them. And again, this is an SUV, so it's not the most sporty thing in the world, but this is definitely my favorite SUV on the market for this category. Now, obviously, I like the Trackhawk or the Lamborghini Urus would be like way more sporty in performance than this, but those also cost way more than this. And this is also a 3-row 7-seat SUV, and for it to perform and handle, it does have pretty decent handling. Again, it's a big SUV, but it's neat to see when you're going around the turns, looking at the G-force gauge and seeing like your pitch and roll as you're driving along. That is really neat to see. Alright guys, we're going to try this out here with the timers. We got a straight stretch of road, so we'll see what happens. I got it in sport and manual, so here we go. Seconds, that's pretty slow. Granted, these roads are a little wet. I wasn't going 100% of throttle, but it is neat to see those work. I'm not going to get to 100, that's for sure. We got that. Oh yeah, so we got them all down now, 8th mile. And again, this was like a hilly road too, but yeah, that was neat to see those things work. Alright guys, one thing we forgot to mention on the interior is down here we have 2 USB ports, as well as 2 USB-C ports, as well as an aux input. There's also a wireless charger right here, which I believe is brand new for the 2021 model year on this Durango. Alright guys, just a little bit of a snow driving here. We got some snow last night. There's probably about a ½ inch on the road, I would guess. Looks pretty cool through the trees here on this back road, going up through the trees with the snow. Alright guys, so if you enjoyed this video, be sure to go down and drop a like and subscribe. Help us to reach 2,000 subscribers. There'll probably be some more videos coming on this Durango in the future. But again, if you enjoyed, be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.
Bye guys.